Hi, guys. Welcome to the Gentlemen's Club. Today's going to be the introductory episode, and I'm just super excited to be able to be collaborating with OCADU Live. So, yes, today the first topic we're going to be going on today is about the perils of instant gratification. And just a quick synopsis and a background for the show. This is about creating a space for purpose and hope for black boys and extended to people from all walks of life and, women too. But the primary focus is just to be able to be a voice that amplifies the struggles of people who have battled depression, battled addictions, or battle currently are battling addictions, etc. And this is what this is just going to be. And thank you very much for joining the Gentlemen's Club today. And we're just going to go straight for it. So yes, the first things we're going to be touching on is about the lie of desire. The lie of desire, and what do I mean by that? It's just because we live in a society that thrives on constant stimulation, and we are a society that's amplified to seek out ways that remotely quickly relieve us of a lot of the things that we go through on a daily basis, right? So when I say the lie of desire, I'm really just speaking to the nature of how these things are quick, fast paced, but ultimately promise us great things but under deliver, right? And desire promises freedom, but often delivers slavery. So it's that negative juxtaposition there, right? We want ultimate freedom, but really on this path that we're walking, it's very very hard to gain that, because a lot of these things overstimulate us and promise us great things, but like I said before, underdeliver. And in the epoch here of the modern world, the instant access to pleasure, it's funny how men actually feel emptier, right? It's like, I'm not saying there's no space for pleasurable things. I love pleasurable things. I love to, go out in nature. I love to, drink the occasional wine. Like, I totally understand that. But it's like, there are these certain traps that are undergirded in, our day to day actions and decisions that kind of like hinder us from pursuing that life of meaning and purpose, and I feel like that's one of the things that is really plaguing a lot of young boys today. It's that idea of and Viktor Frankl talks about it a lot in his book about the meaning of life, him coming from his what's it called, whole ordeal with the concentration camp, and just being able to see how people struggled with that sense of purposelessness. These young boys are basically battling in the shadows, and it's like you're hitting a stick figure or a figurine that's not there, right? And yeah, I just want to really stress the need for meaning, especially when correlating it back to the lie of desire. These desires ultimately have no end, right? They currently have no end, and if they keep constantly get being thrown in your face and are promising things that they're not delivering, there's going to be a sense of frustration that is caused as a result of that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I just need us to be able to bring meaning and purpose back to the foray of a lot of what we do and what is meaning. Things that go beyond the material universe. Things that that are give us that full sense of purpose, and yeah, I do have here too that the soul needs delay because growth requires tension, it requires patience, it requires burden on some sense, right? And burden in the sense that men need resistance. Men need resistance. Men need to know what it's like to fall down and get back up. Men need to be able to understand that the resistance you're feeling isn't necessarily society being against you, even in some sense, even though in some sense that's very true. But it can be flipped to something that's meaningful and impacts you on a personal level, right? Like it goes back to, gym terminology of, when you're lifting those weights, the resistance you're feeling from that experience is actually stimulating muscle growth, right? And this is why the soul needs delay, right? Because it's like, again, just going back to the instant gratification of, if I do this now, I need it done tomorrow, right? And what I find is the things in life that are actually worth it, marriage, whatever relationship with your significant other, whatever, these things require time, communication, patience, right? So the most beautiful things in life do take time to cultivate, And getting what you want too soon prevents becoming who you are meant to be, right? Like we just touched on that. And, you ultimately just gain the pleasure to lose, the best things that come out of, going through the process, And right, and the compartment that I feel like really ties this into is discipline, because it does, help us to participate in order, right? Like I was coming through the trains today, and I saw, just like the beauty of seeing working class people going through their motions. Like I've seen, man, just like, hosing down a car. And I seen people at the train station, motioning people to go here and there. And, it just really kind of like put it into my mind of how society and all these things that we do in our day-to-day jobs brings order, and like there's a collective rhythm and balance that comes with that. So this is why I say like discipline, finding a discipline and not just the active discipline, helps us to participate in a collective order that builds society, pragmatically or otherwise. And even breaking it down and going to discipline as just an act in of itself, restraint is alignment with higher purpose, right? Restraint is alignment with higher purpose. And it's like going again back to that framing of having to look beyond this materialistic world, right? And restraint is like, okay, I want to, like what I'm doing for me in this moment in time where I'm not seeking to be immediately angry or to instantly gratify myself in a moment. It participates in helping other individuals, whether it's to find their confidence or to love them better, right? This is how we participate in order, even with discipline as a solitary concept and not just a concept that is roundhoused in order. So yes, the crossing away to meaning. We have to be able to bear difficulty voluntarily, and because this brings purpose. The easy path is always going to lead to decay and numbness, spiritually, physically, emotionally, right? And it's like that part of it all, it should be something that motivates you to seek out the path that comes with resistance but is filled. And Jordan Peterson uses this framing a lot. Not to say that I align with him on everything, but I do like the way he uses his platform, I guess. So yes, the easy path is never always going to be the path that looks like it's fulfilling the most, but in it, there is a sense of adventure there. There's a sense of adventure that galvanizes you and builds you up as a person, as an individual, as a human being, as a man, and you got to be able to pursue that path, man. Um, commitment, commitment might look scary, you know, commitment to your daily tasks or whatever might look scary, but it's what births the best version of you. Right. So again, it's that wonderful tension that exists there, right? Um, Basically, we need to learn to live in frustration. We need to learn to live in the fact that things might not go our way, but it's building us to become better people, better individuals. And yeah, so this is just ultimately just a call to action for every single young man out there, every single individual out here. Like, it's like you got to be able to, in some sense, to reject mediocrity, right? And I'm not saying all this to build this fictitious version of an individual that's like, you got all the success and everything. And again, success can be personally defined again, right? But what I am saying is, we have to be able to rise to the occasion and to be individuals that not just better ourselves but better the people around us, right? This is why this is why we reject I'm sorry about that. This is why we reject mediocrity, and we choose purpose over pleasure, and just trade the thrill today for the strength of tomorrow. It's really that simple. Thank you guys for just being here on the first episode of the Gentlemen's Club. I do hope to talk with you guys more and more, and to, keep impacting in the way that we ought to. So breathe and breathe again.